If you have ever lost someone, a parent, a friend, anyone who is just there one day and completely gone the next, then you already know that grief does not have a sound, until music gives it one.
There's far too many of you dying.
Every song on this list was born inside that exact moment, recorded hours before a plane went down, written while an artist sat in a prison cell, released while someone lay in a hospital bed, not knowing if they would ever sing again.
How I'd love
Today on R&B Vault, 10 songs that only exist because someone died. Number 10, Night Shift, The Commodores, 1985.
He was a friend of mine.
Picture the scene, 1984. Lionel Richie is gone, the Commodores have not had a hit in 2 years, and the music industry has quietly moved on without them.
His heart in every line.
Then 2 soul giants died within months of each other. Marvin Gaye, shut by his own father the day before his 45th birthday.
He opened up our minds.
Jackie Wilson, finally passing away after spending 8 years in a coma from a heart attack he suffered mid-performance on stage in front of his audience.
Sing your songs forever.
Walter Orange refused to let either man disappear quietly. He co-wrote a song imagining both of them in heaven, still working the night shift, still performing for a different crowd.
Coming down the night shift.
Every lyric wove in references to their real music, not to quote them, but to say they had not gone anywhere.
All night, it's gonna be all right.
Night Shift hit number 1. It won the Commodores their first Grammy. A group the industry had buried turned 2 deaths into their greatest moment. Number 9, Missing You, Diana Ross, 1984. No dramatic setup here, just a phone call between old friends. Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson were talking one evening about Marvin Gaye. Not about the charts or the legacy, about the person, about what it felt like to reach for someone who was no longer there.
Made my heart feel joy.
Lionel Richie was listening, and what he heard in their voices was not grief exactly, it was love that had nowhere left to go. He went home and built a song around it, written specifically for Diana to sing. The music video placed her surrounded by images of Motown legends already gone. Florence Ballard, Paul Williams. A tribute to one man quietly became a memorial for an entire era. It became Diana's last number 1 R&B hit. Lionel later said the song came from one thought, that people need to say they love each other while there is still time. Diana made sure the whole world heard it. Number 8, Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay, Otis Redding, 1968.
I'll be sitting in the evening time,
Stop what you were doing and really sit with this one.
sitting on the dock of the bay, watching.
August 1967. Otis Redding is 25. A promoter gives him a houseboat to rest on in Sausalito, California. He sits on the dock watching ships drift in and drift back out, and he picks up a pen.
I've had nothing to live for.
He writes on napkins, on hotel paper, on whatever is nearby while on the road.
So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay.
By December, he and guitarist Steve Cropper finished the song at the Stack Studio in Memphis.
Look like
December 7th, 1967. 3 days later, his plane goes down into Lake Monona in Wisconsin. He is 26 years old.
Steve remains the same. I can't do what
Cropper returns to the studio alone and adds seagulls, crashing waves, sounds Otis had specifically asked for.
I wrong just to make this drop my
The song is released in January. It becomes the first posthumous #1 in American music history.
Watching the tide roll.
That whistling at the end? Otis improvised it, thinking the song was unfinished. He never got the chance to replace it. He never got the chance to replace anything. Most people watching this right now are not subscribed to R&B Vault, and that hurt. Every story you are hearing took hours to verify, because these artists deserve accuracy, not rumor. If this kind of history means something to you, subscribe now. It costs nothing, and it keeps these stories alive. Now, let's continue. Number 7. 2 Reasons I Cry. Ginuwine, 2001.
I'm so all alone.
Most people know Ginuwine from one song, a slow groove, a Timberland beat, a record that turned him into one of the biggest R&B names of the late 90s. But in 1999, right at the peak of everything he had worked for, his father shot himself to death.
I miss you.
Less than a year later, his mother died of cancer. 2 parents, gone within. Someday we'll all be free. Donny Hathaway, 1973. Ask any serious R&B listener who the greatest pure voice in the history of the genre was. Donny Hathaway comes up every time. Jerry Wexler at Atlantic, the man behind Aretha Franklin and Ray Charles, announced when Donny signed that they had found a third genius. But behind that voice, something was quietly breaking. Paranoid schizophrenia, hospitalizations, long silences. In the middle of one of the darkest stretches of his life, he recorded "Someday We'll All Be Free." Lyrics about holding on, about brighter days being real, even when you cannot feel them. He was writing it for himself. January 13th, 1979. A recording session with Roberta Flack ends abruptly after Donny becomes distressed and paranoid. He is taken back to his hotel. His door is found locked from the inside. He was 33 years old. The song he wrote when he needed to believe it most became what Alicia Keys chose to sing at the September 11th National Tribute Concert. He never made it to the other side. The song did. Number 5. What's Going On? Marvin Gaye, 1971.
There's too many of you crying.
This one does not start with Marvin. It starts with his brother. Frankie Gaye came home from 3 years in Vietnam a different man.
We don't need to escalate.
He sat with Marvin and described what he had seen, the things that had been done to him, the things he could not get out of his head at night. Marvin listened differently than he ever had before. Not to a melody, not to a chord, to a human being who had been broken by something that should never have happened. He walked into the studio and produced himself for the first time in his career. He broke every Motown rule.
Talk to me, honey, so you.
Berry Gordy heard the result and called it the worst thing he had ever heard. Marvin refused to record anything else until it was released.
What's going on? Hey, what's going on? Tell me.
What's Going On sold 200,000 copies its first week. Nelson Mandela quoted it walking out of prison. Barack Obama quoted it on election night. One conversation between 2 brothers. One of the most important songs ever recorded. Number 4, Together Again. Janet Jackson, 1997. You know this song is joyful, upbeat, a feel-good record made for dancing. That is exactly what Janet intended. And that is what makes the truth behind it so quietly devastating. Janet Jackson had been losing friends to AIDS for years. Not one or two, many.
Help me out, you guys. Come on.
In the liner notes of The Velvet Rope, she listed their names by hand. Dominic, George, Derek, Bobby, Victor, Jose. 8 people she had watched die from a disease the world still could not discuss without cruelty. She originally wrote the song as a slow ballad. Then she changed it deliberately. She told MTV she did not want to mourn them. She wanted to celebrate them. So she turned their funeral into a dance floor and invited the whole world. It went to #1, sold 6 million copies. For years, millions of people danced to it without knowing they were dancing for 8 names Janet refused to let disappear. That is the most powerful thing music can do. Hide a burial inside a party. Number him for decades.
To dance with my father again.
In 2003, he and co-writer Richard Marx finally gave it shape. Luther called it his Piano Man, the song he would perform for the rest of his life.
Disagree.
He recorded the final vocals on April 6, 2003. 10 days later, he suffered a massive stroke. The album reached #1 from a hospital bed.
Just what my mama said later that night.
The Grammy for Song of the Year was accepted by Celine Dion on a stage Luther never made it to. 2 years later, he was gone. He wanted it to be the song he sang forever. He only got to record it once.
From me, if I could still.
Number 2, A Song for Mama, Boyz II Men, 1997.
Taught me everything you've given me. I always keep it inside.
No tragedy built this one. No plane crash, no phone call with devastating news, no artist sitting in a hospital room.
Always there to comfort me.
Babyface wrote A Song for Mama as the simplest thing imaginable, a thank you.
You will always be the girl.
He gave it to Boyz II Men for the soundtrack of the 1997 film Soul Food. And when the group played it for their own mothers for the first time, every single one of them began crying before the song was finished. That was before it ever reached the radio. The song went to #1 on the R&B chart. It became the last top 10 hit of the group's career. And quietly, over the years, it became the song people chose to play at their mother's funerals.
Mama, just want you to know.
A song written for women who were still alive, now carrying women who were gone.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh.
Sean Stockman of Boyz II Men said it years later. So many people have dedicated it to mothers who have passed away. It has really been a blessing.
Even when I was bad, you showed me.
A thank you became a goodbye. Nobody planned it that way. Grief just borrowed the most honest song it could find.
And you took up for me when everyone was down on me. You always.
#1, A Change Is Gonna Come, Sam Cooke, 1964.
Oh, and just like the river I've been running.
It starts on a sidewalk in Shreveport, Louisiana. Sam Cooke, already a star, and his entire entourage are turned away from a whites-only motel.
To die.
He stands there and feels, with full force and no insulation, what millions of Black Americans have carried their entire lives. He goes home and writes.
But I know a change
He was also quietly humbled by Bob Dylan's Blowin' in the Wind, a white songwriter saying clearly what Sam himself had lived every single day. He wrote A Change Is Gonna Come as his answer. Slow, certain, terrified underneath the certainty. The song was released in December of 1964. Sam Cooke had been shot and killed 2 weeks before it came out.
Hang around. It's been a long
He was 33 years old. He never heard it on the radio. He never saw it become a civil rights anthem. He was not alive when Nelson Mandela quoted it leaving prison, or when Barack Obama spoke its title the night history changed.
And I say, brother, help me please.
Sam Cooke wrote a song about the future finally arriving. He just did not get to live in it.
But he winds up.
That is what every song on this list carries, the voice of someone who put their whole heart into music, not knowing it would be the last thing they ever gave the world. If one of these songs has ever meant something to you, drop it in the comments. Tell us who you were thinking about when you heard it. Because here on R&B Vault, the music never stops, and neither do the stories.
But now I think I'm able